Hello, my name's Tyler Martin. There's my ID card. And you have to excuse the coughing that I'm sure will be happening quite often. Case in point, fighting off a bit of a cold. Anyways, this is my proposal for the new student information system that hopefully we will be designing for you soon. As you'll see in the included document, there are two screenshots of just a general mock-up of what the entry form could look like. Now, obviously this is very plain looking, but we can add color to it to incorporate your school colors, make it a little friendlier looking, and add and remove fields as necessary. Maybe there are some fields in there that you don't need, and some fields there that you do need that we don't have. So we can add those as necessary along the way. Now you also notice red asterisks next to a lot of the fields. This indicates a required field. Majority of the fields are going to be required. Now we'll also have a few other feedback notifications as you fill out the form. For instance, maybe you're filling out the email address and you did not put the .com on the end of the email address, and you go on to the next box. That will automatically be flagged. Maybe just turn the box red to indicate to you that, hey, this isn't correct. You need to change that. And it'll do that with all the fields that are required. And this helps ensure that the data that is entered correctly, so that when it goes into the database, all the information is correct. And when we cross-reference the data, say maybe accidentally entered another student in that you already have. So as long as that information was entered correctly the first time, it'll be a lot easier when you enter something in, maybe again, like I said, another student that you're entering that you've already entered. It'll be able to flag that instantly instead of just chugging along and entering stuff in on a whim. We don't want just random information there. We want to make sure everything is entered correctly and has integrity. So, all right. Now, as for training, once we get the system designed and you like where the design is going so far, you want to roll it out. When it comes to the training, we can do a presentation on site where basically me or one of my associates will have a projector set up, hooked up to the computer, and we'll walk through the web form step by step and answer questions as needed. This will allow the users to get a feel for how the form is going to look and how data is going to be entered into the form. And those questions that may arise through the presentation will also help us iron out more of the kinks, so that we'll be able to smooth the transition over when it comes time for it. Now, if we can't do an on-site presentation, we can also do a webinar, which is basically the same thing, except you're just watching the presentation on your computer instead of watching it in person. And you can call in on your cell phone, or maybe you can have a conference call, and we'll all be able to listen to each other. And as I give the presentation, you'll still be able to ask questions, and there'll also be a little chat window. You can just type in a question if you can't call. And this will basically work the same way as an on-site presentation. You'll be able to sit at your desk and be part of the presentation instead of all having to go into one room for the presentation. Sorry. As far as physical security for this new system, we will need some kind of room that can be secured. Preferably the door will have a lock on it. We prefer to do some kind of combination lock or a key card access. A key card access will basically just be a card kind of like this, where we'll have a chip inside it that is tied to a specific employee, so that when the employee swipes the card on the door lock, it logs the employee that just entered. So then be able to go back and see who all has entered in the last several days, months, whatever you need to look at. So that'll provide some kind of accountability for your employees. So you're making sure that only authorized people are entering into the room. Now, as far as software security, you don't have any kind of firewall, which hopefully you do, but we can implement that for you, as well as some intrusion detection systems that can be put in between your system and firewall to basically detect intrusions in case of any form of it. I'm sorry. In case of some form of attack over the network. There's just some extra layers that we can add in there to ensure that your system is secure and that nobody can mess with this new information system. For backups, we can do, of course, on-site backups. We'll basically just have a RAID array of hard drives. What a RAID array does is basically just a lot of hard drives hooked up together that are constantly information can be backed up to them. And if one of those hard drives goes out, as long as we have the correct RAID array in there, it won't matter. You can just replace that. You just swap out a new hard drive in there, and it'll just keep trucking right along like nothing ever happened. We can also do some backup services over the cloud back to our site, and we offer that for a small fee. Or there's also, we can set up a warm site, a hot site, or cold site. And basically what that is, a hot site is basically a copy, a clone of what you have on your campus. And we set that up somewhere else so that if your site goes down, this one can be swapped right over to, and you just keep moving along until your site can be brought back up again. A cold site and warm site are very similar. It's just that they're not up and running all the time. A cold site would take a little longer to be brought up, and a warm site is kind of running, but it still takes a little more processing to get it up and running and back online. So we can set that up for you as well, so that you can have instant recovery, or almost instant recovery, hopefully. And we also recommend that you test your backups. If you cannot do that, we can do that for you at least once a week, to ensure that the backups that you're making for your student database are correct and that they can be recovered in case recovery is needed. You don't want to wait until everything has gone down and then find out your backups have not been backing up, and the ones that have been backed up can't be recovered. So that's just a little bit of what we can offer to you, and hopefully you'll choose us for this new student information system design. Thank you.